All right, let's do it. Not sure what I'm doing, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, let's see. That looks just terrible. Man, that looked horrible. Sorry, I'm not good at drawing stuff. I think I'm just making the same thing. That's better than my first cue. But I don't like that one either. Okay, make it rounder. Well, give me some ideas. Take G1 off. That's not a cue if you take G1 off. Why are people saying take off G1? Do you know what a cue is? Maybe I can make 3 of these. I mean, I can make it wider, I guess. Okay. Okay. So this is the cue. And then do you want white to play in mate in 2, white to play in mate in 3, or do you want some kind of tactic? Mate in 2 and 3 is easier for me to set up. Yeah. What would you like me to do? Mate in 3? Okay. Is that the cue that you want? Is that a cue? And this position is legal. White has 6 pawns and only 1 promoted piece. Black only has 1 promoted piece. Yeah. And this is very hard to solve. There's only one answer. There's only one move that leads to mate in 3. Yeah. All right, so there's your cue. Yeah, 2 dark squared bishops because I got 3 knights. There's pawn promotions. Why does black have 2 black bishops? Because he does. Sometimes I have 9 queens. What are you going to do? That's what happens sometimes. The first move is taking on c3, and the idea is you want to play rook d2 and bishop d7 mate. One idea I had was to promote to a knight and then play bishop d7 mate, but that doesn't work because after here, bishop f6, and then bishop takes knight, this knight's hanging. However, if you play bishop here, so this knight's hanging after dc, then knight d6 is mate. Yeah, because this bishop needs to protect d6, so it can't take on d8. So the king is trapped. So only the bishops can move. And we want to play bishop d7 mate. And we have to keep all of our knights here. If we move this knight, the king has escape squares. If we move this knight, the bishops are defending those squares the knight can move to, which allow these kinds of checkmates. If this knight moves, then you lose this knight. So you can't move any of these knights, but you want to play bishop d7 mate because bishop d7's mate. So I was going to promote to a knight and play bishop d7 mate. But that doesn't work. So you have to take this, and the reason is now your knight has the e5 square and you can't take it. So then you're threatening knight e5 bishop here mate. You're also threatening rook d2 bishop here mate. If you play rook d2 and they block the mate with bishop d6, then knight takes d6 as mate, which is funny because the knights, all the squares are controlled because of the minor pieces. So this is the only move that works. If you play bishop takes, knight here is mate. You have to keep your bishop on the diagonal, then rook d2 bishop here mate. So the only defense that makes any sense to me is this one for black, because the knight, and then this is mate because the knight's not defended. Because you can't play this mate or this mate because the knight's not defended. But this is the only mate. There's no other mate. Yeah, so this checks out. This is white to play in mate in 3, and there's only one solution. And here there's 2 solutions. There's knight here with bishop d7 mate and rook here. What I'm wondering is, can I make a move where there's only one solution? No, it's always the same too. Yeah, I can always, what about always play bishop f8? Yeah. So after takes, if the bishop goes here, 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 or here, rook d2, it works, and knight here works with bishop here mate. And if you take the pawn, knight d6 is mate right away. So that's, you got to keep your bishop here. You can't move your king. So the bishops are actually doing a good job defending, but once you take one of them, you have the d2 square for your rook. I can make a better one in like an hour or two, but this was like, 15 minutes. Yeah. Well, I had the idea of having the knights here, and I wanted to promote to a knight and play bishop d7 mate, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to do it. I can make up a problem with this configuration where that's the answer. b7, b8 knight, bishop d7 mate. And making a queen is no good because if you move the knight with discovered mate, the f7 knight's still not defended. You can't go here, here, queen, and then the queen mates the king because this knight needs to defend this knight. Otherwise, you can take it. So I wanted to do this, and mate, make it a knight, but I couldn't figure it out. And then I just did this one, which isn't related to that, but it still has the bishop d7 mate. That's why the bishop's on g2, on g4. Yeah. Now, obviously, I can make a better one, but most people who compose puzzles take a little while to do it. Not just, And I've done this before where I make a puzzle in a minute or two. Obviously, it's not very good because I did it in a minute or two. And also, I was restricted to make it a Q. I did see the Family Guy where Quagmire says, does it look like a Q now? How about now? So, yeah. All right, cool.